Hello, y'all. This is Debo's Film Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Dukes of Hazzard: The Beginning, starring, of course, Willie Nelson as Uncle Jesse, Randy Wayne as Luke, Jonathan Bennett as Bo, April Scott as Daisy, featuring Christopher McDonald as Boss Hogg, Sherilyn Fenn as Lulu Hogg, Joel David Moore as Cooter, Harlan Williams as Sheriff Roscoe B. Coltrane. And some guy only know from this movie. I can't remember the brain fart on the dude's name right now, but as Huey Hogg. And for a movie that was, I'll just say, it was a great concept, poor execution, but at least they made an unrated cut compared to the ABC Family TV movie, which, of course, the TV cut was an absolute dumpster fire. And I'm talking about a TV cut that was pretty much worse than the Coy and Vance seasons of Dukes. And though for a better storyline, could have been like what I should have said. Should have been in my review of the 2005 one. Should have had like a Racer X deal involving Coy and Vance as villains. But with this one being an origin story of incomplete opposite of the show canon, to where it was like Daisy, Bo, and Luke were all orphaned at young ages and took in by Uncle Jesse, whereas Bo and Luke lived in different communities with their parents, and only to turn out to be juvenile delinquents and all. And Jonathan Bennett just was definitely no John Schneider when it came to being Bo Duke. I know Bo ain't supposed to be a smart one, but it was more. I've turned him into like a male version of Luann Platter. Just flat out dumb from like that line in after picking up the charges saying it's from the Civil War, and then and then of course he had Luke, who was of course obsessed with explosives and all, which kind of makes sense because from the series of him being a NAM vet and an ex-Marine, who's pretty much about as professional with firearms as well as he is of archery, since in the series the Duke they were on probation and couldn't own guns, which in this series is just condensed for just a completely. I don't know what they were smoking on that one, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't no good shit from Willie that Willie could send him to. And it's almost to the point that the only thing they actually got right was the car. Because when it comes to rebooting Dukes of Hazzard, both iterations this time was getting they got the general right with the orange paint job, the O1 on the door, down to the license plate. Yeah, but I'd say one dumb take on this version was how they only welded one side of the door, and the other side of the door opened and all. That was just dumb. But especially as long as the portrayal of Huey as just a city boy, when they could have just made him like a Malibu's most wanted rapper type, wannabe rapper type, in a driving a Toyota Supra or a Nissan Skyline, with how Fast and Furious movies were just getting popular, and but knocked to the super over milked powerhouses they were. I'm talking about like the first Furious movies, which were still about street racing. Given that, I mean, that that concept could have been about better than what we got with the preppy boy in a BMW. There's in that chase scene where Huey actually got away and Bo wrecks the general. Man, that's funny, but I do gotta admit there were some funny parts that were rarely improved with the unrated cut, because they basically turned Dukes of Hazzard almost like American Pie. Yeah, from the amount of nude scenes I've seen in this movie, it's kind of like it was almost like any woman with blonde hair in this movie basically showed her boobs. I mean, what's next? The next reboot with Sydney Sweeney as Daisy? Hell, that might get some hits. Kind of like how I pitched in the, what's next with, in the Duke's video with how like Samuel L. Jackson should have played Roscoe, which they kind of like this one. Another shared flaw was the underuse of Enos. Just going from high school hall monitor to the Hazzard rookie. Kind of surprising that they didn't write Cletus Hogg in this one. But I gotta give it to Christopher McDonald. He pretty much, when it comes to comedies, that's probably his most douchiest role since Shooter McGavin. Man, he did a good job, and I mean, I would give it to Harlan Williams too, because I always considered him an underrated comedian. And of course, April Scott wasn't a bad Daisy. I mean, it's about like as close as you get to having either Elijah Dushku or Erica Durance playing Daisy, but what do you expect from a TV movie? And the low quality you kind of expected. And I guess old Sherilyn Fenn did a decent job as Lulu, but compared to the woman who resorted to food and cooking because boss couldn't get it up. Despite being, and pretty much only married him for his money. And like in the show, how like the only reason he puts up with Roscoe, boss put up with Roscoe, is because of course that's because Roscoe's Lulu's brother. And another kind of odd was how origin story. Although I kind of would have, although come down to it, it might as well just should have just did, if it weren't for like the fact that the general is a key component, they could have just did a prequel series taking like by like the 30s or post-war 40s or early 50s with like a younger Uncle Jesse in his days in driving Black Tilly. If you know about that, there's an old frenemy deal with J.D. Hogg kind of scenario. Which close to that concept, all we got was like a flashback level in the first game, Racing for Home. So about overall, I'm about to give Dukes of Hazzard a beginning a 2 out of 5. Just guys playing Bo and Luke just were nowhere near the caliber of Tom and John Schneider and Tom Wopat. Jeez, even Coy and Vance were better than those two. And of course, Willie Nelson reprising his role. I mean, he can't really knock Willie Nelson, though it does kind of add a continuity error of a movie that's basically a soft reboot of the 2005 movie, and a kind of odd continuity of how in that the general pretty much got built and all to up to like in the 2001 where it just starts out with just like a regular junkie charger, more, or should I say more, was all go instead with no show, kind of, or as they say in Street Outlaws, a sleeper with a spray painted O1 on the door. But overall, 2 out of 5. I mean, just had some funny moments, but it's nowhere near the caliber of the show. And better, and there could have been better executions of the concept. I mean, the cast was good, but the stunts were good, but could have did some better retconning. Like, should have said like should have made like Huey Hogg a street racer in a JDM car or a Japanese drift machine car, because other than like Need for Speed, the only time I ever seen close of the Duke boys smoking those imports. Though I could say the only time an importer really beat was a couple times. One in this that wreck scene, the chase scene in this one, and that episode with a fake British cousin from season 2. But overall, Duke's beginning, 2 out of 5.